Howdy, Brazos Valley. This is Hayden Riley, broker with Inhabit Real Estate Group, with your MLS update. This is where I go over the previous month's real estate statistics to share with you what has been going on in the Brazos Valley. And keep in mind, this information is general information provided by the Texas Association of Realtors, by the Bryan College Station MLS, and by the Texas Real Estate Center. It is general information for the entire area. If you'd like to know how this applies specifically to you, please feel free to reach out to me at haydenriley.com or on Facebook at Hayden Riley Realtor. Without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started? All right, folks, it is August of 2022. So we're going over July's numbers. Let's take a look at the average days on market. And this will kind of be our example. Our color coding will be the same in the next three statistics. So keep in mind that red is 2022, yellow is 2021, blue is 2020. Our pre-pandemic years are 2018 and 2019, which are purple and gray respectively. Just keep those in mind as kind of a frame of reference as to where we used to be, where we were used to operating before the pandemic hit. So you'll notice that our average days on market are well below pre-pandemic numbers. In fact, they're well below 2021 and 2022 numbers. And that's just mostly an after effect of how low our inventory got. I mean, we were at 400 as far as total active residential listings for all of the Bryan College Station MLS at the beginning of the year. So we're seeing a steady increase though for the last 3 months or last 2 months. And I have a feeling we'll see a little bit more of that because we have seen an increase in our inventory. In fact, our inventory has doubled at least since the beginning of the year. And so we'll see what if that continues, but that would be my guess that it will continue. Number of units sold, 388 compared to 475 in June. So definitely we've had a decrease month over month. Now keep in mind though that this is very normal. June and May have been kind of our peak months, and then we just drop off into July, August, and even further drop into September, October, and stay at that level really until we get back to February, March time window. And that's mostly because people like to buy houses when their kids are out of school. I don't know if that's necessarily the correlation, but that's what a lot of my clients tell me. And are we going, where are we relative to the last few years? We're definitely at a lower point than we were in 2020 and 2021, but those were abnormal years. We were getting closer to our pre-pandemic numbers, but we're still operating at a higher level than that at this point. Next, we're looking at our new listings taken. We had two very high months in May and June, particularly because MLS or the builders have put a lot of their listings in the MLS all at once. But we're now back on trend at 483 for the month of July. Now, what does this necessarily mean? We will operate with a maybe, I don't know if it's a artificially pumped up inventory because they put through so many on the market at once, but it is what it is. We'll continue to, I suspect we'll continue to decrease our new listings taken as we usually do and have done for the last 4 years. I really don't see us having more months like we did these last two. Next, we're taking a look at the Bryan College Station housing report. So the three previous graphics were just for the entire MLS, all 7 counties. This is just for the 2 cities. So the housing report, median price point, $285,000, which is up 11.8%. Our active listings are up 54.3%, and our days on market at 67. The price distribution, the lion's share between 200 and 300,000, which is where it usually is. And our number 2 spot, and our consistent now number 2 spot, is between 3 and 400,000. That is a change this year, really, due to the appreciation of houses, the big appreciation of houses or property since the pandemic began. The closed sales are down 19.5% compared to this time last year, and the months of inventory are at 2.1. Months of inventory, for those of you not familiar with that statistic, it's just a gauge of, are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? How much? It's more of a scale. So 2.1 months of inventory, what that means is if we were to repeat the same number of closed transactions for the month of July, how many times would we need to do that before we'd run out of inventory without adding any new inventory? And the answer is 2.1 months. 6 months is more of a halfway point where you're in a balanced market. And if you're above that mark, you're in a buyer's market. If you're below that mark, you're in a seller's market. So this kind of gives you an idea of exactly, we're definitely way lower than 6 months at this point. An indicator of a seller's market. Not that you've not seen other ones so far. And last, we're taking a look at, hopefully, the future. I say hopefully because it's my guesstimate. What I like to do is look at the number of properties that go under contract each week as a percentage of the active listings. So this last week, 11.6% of our market went under contract. You can see we're at 895 total active listings, and that is considerably higher than where we were back in January, where we were at 400. Now, since the beginning of the year, though, one thing that hasn't changed much is the number of properties going under contract each week. Our average, and it doesn't really deviate very much, our average is about 118, and we're at 104. So, I mean, we've been kind of at that 100 mark week after week after week. The buyers just don't seem to be going away. Even though, I know you see a decrease in the number of closed transactions, all very normal. The buyers are still out there buying property. So are we going in, shifting from a seller's to a buyer's market anytime soon? My guess would be no. We definitely have a ways to go before that should happen. Now, this is a lot of information. As I've said before, it's generic information. If you would like to know how this applies to you, please feel free to reach out to me. I've included a link in the notes where you can schedule an appointment or some time on the phone. It doesn't matter if you're a buyer or seller, or if you're just a homeowner trying to figure out what his or her property taxes are going to be like. So please feel free to reach out, though. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Take care.